Okay, my topic was over mandatory voting laws, which is also known as compulsory voting laws. Um, One side thinks that we should have mandatory voting laws, which would, in the long run, raise the percentage of citizens who vote. And the other side thinks that we shouldn't have mandatory voting laws because it goes against our whole country's democracy government. Um, my side of the argument is that I believe that we should have mandatory voting laws because it would not only raise our percentage of citizens who vote, but also force our citizens to educate themselves with politics. Especially with our generation, I think that we're not really as interested as some of the previous generations have been. My first genre is a newspaper article. I use this to explain how mandatory voting laws would help better the United States. This helped to prove to the readers my side of the argument, which stated that we should have mandatory voting laws. Um, for my second genre, I wrote a letter from the point of view of a concerned citizen. She definitely did not support mandatory voting laws, and she voiced that quite often. Um, I used this letter to support the opposite side of the argument from what my side is. My third genre, I wrote a blog post about the mandatory voting laws in Australia and how they enforce them and how it's positively impacted their government and their country. And I used my research to make it very factual and very just straight to the point. For my fourth genre, I wrote a series of comments in response to the blog post that would continue to support my point that we should have mandatory voting laws. And it also helped express other feelings and other people's feelings about the laws, so then the readers could get a different view. My fifth genre, I wrote a TV script, which was more like a talk show script. I had the host bring in the same concerning citizen who wrote the letter previously to also support the other side, which would be the opposite side of the argument from the side that I'm agreeing with. My last and final genre, I ended with a speech from Obama stating that we will be enforcing the mandatory voting law, and and he starts to explain all the benefits our country will reap from this law. This was my way of finally stating my side of the argument to the readers. And my concluding example is how Australia actually has the mandatory voting law, and it's been in effect for many, many years now, and how it's actually improved their country and how it's worked well for them. And I just think that it really proved that it could work well for the US also. And this is my We're Excited.